Hi friends, welcome to my channel Mathematics Idea. This video is also available in Hindi. यह वीडियो हिंदी में भी उपलब्ध है. If you are happy with the content, please press like, share and subscribe to be updated with my channel. Press the bell icon to get the notifications. If you are first time viewing this video, then I will suggest you to go through my introduction video first to understand the presentation structure of the course content. Today, we are at the class of Basics of Mathematical Induction. Now, let's put the roadmap for this class. In this class, we will be having two halves. First half, we will discuss the theory of principle of mathematical induction. And in second half, we will discuss the origin of principle of mathematical induction. Okay? Now, let's get started with the first half of our class. As this first class explains the theory, this is the flow chart or the master chart to understand the theory of principle of mathematical induction. What is mathematical induction? Mathematical induction is type of tool or technique. Mathematical induction is a type of tool or technique to prove the mathematical statements. Okay? So, I will repeat again. Mathematical induction is type of tool or technique to prove the mathematical statements. Okay? So, I used here two new terms, that is type of tool or technique and mathematical statements. What are these type of tool or techniques and what are the mathematical statements? To prove a statement, there are various type of techniques or tools available, like pure arithmetic type technique, mathematical induction, which we will deal in detail in this class. There may be a geometric type, there may be a numerical analysis. So there are several type of techniques available. These techniques are used to prove the mathematical statements. What are my mathematical statements? Mathematical statements are such as sum of first n natural numbers is n plus 1 by 2. Okay, this is my mathematical statement. Now, what we will do is, we will take this as one of the sample problem. This statement of sum of first n natural numbers is n plus 1 by 2. We will take this as a sample problem and we will explain mathematical induction in detail. Okay? Now, let me rub out this. My typical mathematical statement is represented by P of n. Okay? A typical mathematical statement is represented by P of n. I told sum of n natural numbers. My natural numbers begins from 1. It will be 1, 2, 3, 4, so on up to n. So, sum of the n natural numbers, that means sum of numbers starting from 1 to n. So, it will be written as 1 plus 2 plus 3 so on up to n. Okay? So, this is a mathematical expression for my statement, that is sum of n natural numbers, which is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to n. this is equal to n plus 1 by 2. This entire sum is equal to n plus 1 by 2. This is my LHS and this is my RHS. Okay, this is my LHS and this is my RHS. So sum of the n natural numbers is n plus 1 by 2. What we will do, we will first prove this by using arithmetic technique. After that, we will go through principle of mathematical induction. In my arithmetic technique, so I will prove by arithmetic technique first. So in my arithmetic technique, I will represent the sum of n natural numbers as s. I will represent the sum of n natural numbers as s. This s is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus dash dash up to n. Understood? So this is the sum of my first n natural numbers. Same sum m s can be written as n plus n minus 1 plus dash dash up to 1. What I had done? I had written the same sum in descending order. Earlier it was in ascending order 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n. Now what I had done? I had represented the same sum in descending order n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3 up to 1. Both of these will give same results. Okay, both of them will yield same results. So it will be equal to s and this will also be equal to s. I will perform one arithmetic operation, that is, I will sum up these two. I will sum up these two. Then my s plus s will become 2s. My s plus s will become 2s. This n plus 1 will give me n plus 1. This n minus 1 plus 2, it will also give n plus 1. Next will be n minus 2 plus 3. It will also give n plus 1. So on. Last term will also be n plus 1. This n and this one, it will give n plus 1. How many terms are there? These are n terms. You agree with this? These are n terms. So n plus 1 summed n times. N plus 1 summed n times. It will be n times of n plus 1. Okay, like 2 summed up n times, it will be 2n. 3 summed up n times, it will be 3n. Like that, n plus 1 summed n times, it will be n plus 1 n. Okay, so my 2s is equal to n plus 1 and s will be n plus 1 by 2. Okay, and s will be my n plus 1 by 2. So I have arrived to my RHS. My RHS says it is n plus 1 by 2 and I had arrived over there. Is it clear? This is the arithmetic technique or arithmetic type of proof. Now let's move on to principle of mathematical induction. Principle of mathematical induction is a three-step approach. Principle of mathematical induction is a three-step approach. In this three-step approach, what are all those three steps? Okay, now my first step will be the initial checking step, P1. Okay, initial checking step, which is P1. Why 1 here? Because for this mathematical statement, we are having domain as for all n belongs to natural numbers. For all n belongs to natural numbers. What is the domain? This and all is explained in our function class. I will request you to go back to our function class and understand what is domain. Okay. So this is my P1. P1 is what? 1 is initial. So my n is belonging to natural numbers. So my natural numbers start from 1 until n. It is a sum of n natural numbers. So initial is 1. This is my initial number 1. It may be possible that n belongs to natural numbers such that n is greater than 5. In that case, we have to take P5 rather than P1. Okay. So based on such initial values, there are different set of problems like recursion, second principle of mathematical induction, which we will explain in our detailed explanation classes, which will be next to this class. Okay. Let's assume we will take only 1 as our initial value. I have to show that for initial value of 1, P1 is true. What I have to show? I have to show that P1 is true. Why we are performing this step? This step is a check step. This step is a check step. Any statement provided, it should not happen that we are doing any random proof. We will take any random statement and we will start doing our proof. So with this initial check, you will be able to find that whether for my initial value this statement is valid or not. Then I will proceed to another steps. Okay. This is a initial basic feasible check step, IBFC we will call it. Okay. This is the initial basic feasibility check step. Okay. This step does not contribute anything towards the solving of the problem. This is only a verification step. Okay. It is as same as nowadays. Suppose someone will ask you, can you transfer any amount through Google Pay or Paytm or Phone Pay? What you will do? You will first transfer 1 rupee and ask for the confirmation that whether that account number is correct or not. Same thing is happening over here. We are just putting 1 and we are verifying whether the given statement of LHS and RHS is same or not. Okay? Okay. What is my next step? Second step is my assumption step. In my assumption step, I will assume that PM is true. So I will assume that PM is true. As P1 is true, I will assume that PM is true. P1 is true, it's not mandatory that PM should also be true, because for any value of 1, we can't conclude that it is viable for any variable, any number. Okay, so we will assume, okay, it is not a mandatory, it is an assumed step. So we will assume that Pm is true. With this assumption, what is our output? With this assumption, our output is a concrete statement. A concrete statement. We will come up with a concrete statement by assuming that Pm is true. Okay, we will come up with a concrete statement. Third step, I have to show that P of m plus 1 is true. So what I have to show? I have to show that P of m plus 1 is true. This is my third step. How I will show that my Pm plus 1 is true? You have to take help of this second statement, put in the third step. From second step we are getting concrete statement. Take that concrete statement, make it in Pm plus 1, use it in Pm plus 1. That means you are sandwiching. You are sandwiching step number 2 and step number 3. Okay, to show that Pm plus 1 is true. With this Pm plus 1 is true, what will be my conclusion? My conclusion will be P of n is true. Okay, so my conclusion is P of n is true. Okay, now you understood this 3-step process. So this 3-step process is, first we have to show a initial basic feasibility check. By using initial value, we have to show that for initial value the statement LHS is equal to RHS. Okay, now another, in second step we have to show that we are arrived with a concrete statement. We have to use that concrete statement. So this is the assumption step. In third step is the induction step. In this step we will show that Pm plus 1 is true, and we will come to conclusion once we show that Pm plus 1 is true is that Pn is also true. What we will do, I will rub this out. And I will take the same sample problem of sum of n natural numbers is n plus 1 by 2, and we will solve it by using principle of mathematical induction 3-step approach. First step, as for all n belongs to n, my initial value will be 1. Okay, so I have to show that P1 is true. P1. For my P1, what will be my LHS? My LHS will be 1, because 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to n terms. So for P1, n is replaced by 1. For P1, n is replaced by 1. So how many terms it will have? It will have only one term. As it is having only one term, that will be only 1. So my LHS is 1. Let's move on to our RHS. RHS, it has given that it is n plus 1 by 2. We will substitute 1 in place of n. So you will get 1 plus 1 by 2. Okay, you will get 1 plus 1 by 2. If you will solve it, you will get it as 1 into 2 by 2, which is equal to 1. Which is equal to 1. Okay. So with this, I will get that my LHS is equal to RHS. LHS is equal to RHS. So my P1 is true. Okay, with this we got that P1 is true. Okay, so feasibility, basic feasibility check is done. Initial basic feasibility check is done. Now let us assume, what is our next step? Let us assume that PM is true and come with a concrete statement. Let's do that. My second step is PM is true. My PM is true. This is my assumption. Concrete statement will be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to m will be equal to m plus 1 by 2. This will be equal to m plus 1 by 2. Are you getting this? Okay. So sum of my first m numbers is m plus 1 by 2. This is the concrete statement which is the output of my second step. In third step, I have to show that Pm plus 1 is true. So how my Pm plus 1 will look like? It will look like 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to m plus m plus 1. Okay, so Pm is having m terms, so my Pm plus 1 will have m plus 1 terms. Okay, these m terms, we had assumed that this m terms sum is m plus 1 by 2. From our concrete statement, we can replace the sum of first m terms by m plus 1 by 2. Let's replace that. Then it will become m plus 1 by 2 plus m plus 1. Okay, sum of first m terms, I got it as m plus 1 by 2 from my concrete statement, which is the assumption step. So I had replaced the sum of first m numbers by m plus 1 by 2, and we had left with m plus 1 because Pm plus 1 will have m plus 1 terms. So this m plus 1 we had added it further. Okay, so this is my second step. Before proceeding forward, we have to keep in our mind that how my RHS will look like. For n natural numbers, it is n plus 1 by 2. For m, it is m plus 1 by 2. For m plus 1, how my RHS will look like? So my RHS will look like m plus 1, m plus 2 by 2. This is how my RHS will look like. My RHS will be m plus 1, m plus 2 by 2. Are you getting? I had just substituted m plus 1 in place of n. So in place of n, if you will substitute m plus 1, you will get m plus 1. In n plus 1, if you will substitute n as m plus 1, then you will get m plus 1 which is m plus 2 by 2. This is how my RHS will look like. After this step, we should focus to get this term. We should focus to get this term, by which we will be able to tell that Pm plus 1 is true. Okay? As this is the check step, I will rub it out, because to make the space, so I will rub this check step. This check step is not useful in my further proof. Okay, so let me rub it out. Take this m plus 1 by 2 plus m plus 1. In this, we can take m plus 1 common. Once you take m plus 1 common, it will be m plus 1 m by 2 plus 1. Okay? M plus 1 m by 2 plus 1. Take 2 LCM here, then you will get m plus 1 m plus 2 by 2. Okay, if you take LCM here 2, then it will become m plus 2 and whole divided by 2. So we had arrived to our RHS, which is m plus 1 m plus 2 by 2. So we got Pm plus 1 is true. With this Pm plus 1 is true, our conclusion is Pn is true. Our conclusion is Pn is true. Okay? So this is the 3-step approach in which we will prove the statement that sum of first n natural numbers is n plus 1 by 2 by using principle of mathematical induction. So what we had done? We had done the initial check for 1. After that, we had written a concrete statement for Pm. We had extended to Pm plus 1 step, and we had a term till m plus 1, in which we had replaced till m with the concrete statements RHS, and we had arrived that our Pm plus 1 is true. This is what the summary of this problem. So this is my arithmetic technique. Okay, this is my arithmetic technique, and this is my principle of mathematical induction. Okay. Can you point out any major differences between these two? Can you please point out? I will tell you. The first major difference is in arithmetic type of proof. Okay, in arithmetic type of proof, my RHS is non-essential. You can see here, I have taken LHS 1 plus 2 plus 3 till n, and I had come up this expression that it is equal to n plus 1 by 2. Whereas in my principle of mathematical induction, I am taking LHS and RHS side by side. I am taking my LHS and RHS side by side while proving it. Whereas in my arithmetic technique, that RHS is non-essential part whenever there is a sign of equality. Whenever there is a sign of equality, my RHS is non-essential for arithmetic type of proof. Why only when there is equality? Why not when there is inequality? At the time when there is an inequality, suppose I will write one inequality statement as 1 is lesser than 2. 1 is also lesser than 3. 1 is also lesser than 4. Agree? So I can see, even though my LHS is constant, my RHS is varying whenever there is a sign of inequality. Whenever there is a sign of inequality, my RHS is varying even though my LHS is constant, which is 1 here, and in RHS it may be 2, it may be 3, it may be 4. So whenever we don't know what my RHS is, we can't prove the statement whenever there is an inequality. Therefore, even in the case of arithmetic type of proof, RHS will become the essential part whenever there is a sign of inequality. Okay? You understood this? Any other difference you can point it out? We are using here the term n. What are those type of expressions called? These are all generalizations. Generalization is my general opinion about certain group, like a group of first n natural numbers. What is my general opinion? That sum of these first n natural numbers is n plus 1 by 2. This is my general opinion. Such type of problems are generalization problems. Those problems can be easily solved by using principle of mathematical induction. Those problems can be easily solved by using principle of mathematical induction. Whereas solving by using the arithmetic type of technique, it is a very scary approach. It is a very scary and very lengthy approach also. Okay. This is the other difference. What another difference you can point out? Another difference is, this is the sum of n natural numbers, an easy sum. So you found arithmetic technique is also quite easy to prove. If suppose there is certain term question like sine of nx is always lesser than n of sin x, such type of problems, it is very difficult to prove by arithmetic type. Whereas principle of mathematical induction is having a structured three-step approach, very solid three-step approach. Okay. So other difference is, it is a very structured approach. In this there is no structure. Okay. You have to use different process for different sums. This is the other difference. Okay. Okay. While I will rub my board, can you please think of any other technique to prove the same statement, that sum of first n natural numbers is n plus 1 by 2. This is just for your brainwash. Okay. Can you think of any other type of technique? That sum of first n natural numbers is n plus 1 by 2. So I will prove it by geometric way. I told geometric is also one of the way. I will represent this sum in a straight line. How I will represent? I will take this line. In this line, first segment, I will take it as 1. Double this. This is 2. This will be 3. Like that, my last interval will be n. Sum of the first n natural numbers is nothing but length of this line. 1 plus 2 plus 3 dash dash up to n. So length of this line is my sum of first n natural numbers. Okay, you agree with this? Now I will represent this length by L. I will represent this length by L. This length I will write it as 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to n. Okay. For further proof, I will perform some iterations. What are those iterations are? First iteration, same length L, I will deduct 1 unit of length from each interval. Once I will deduct 1 unit from this interval, it will become 0. When I will deduct from this, it will become 1. This will become 2. Like that, my n term will become n minus 1. So this 1 will become 0. This 2 will become 1. This 3 will become 2. So on. My last term will become n minus 1. Okay, my last term will become n minus 1. What I am doing? I am just taking one segment from each, one interval from each and every segment. Once I take one from each of the segment, how many terms are these? These are n terms. Okay, these are n terms. In these n terms, I had taken 1 how many times? N times. So what I had left with? I had left with a length of n. 1 added n times is n into 1. 1 added n times is n into 1. Whatever you had deducted, I had added the same in first step. Okay, so my first term will become n. In second iteration, do the same approach. This will be n plus, leave this one out, you take minus 1 from this. Do the same, at last from n minus 1 also you will take minus 1. So this will become 1 and last one term will become n minus 2. How many times I had taken 1 here? It is n minus 1 times. Earlier it was n. Now it is n minus 1 times. So I had come up with n minus 1 over here because minus 1 is taken n minus 1 times over here. So I will be left with n minus 1. Like this, you proceed till n minus 1th iteration. You proceed till n minus 1th iteration. In that iteration, you will get length as n plus n minus 1 plus n minus 2 plus dash 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 up to 1. Okay, so you are seeing here it is n, n minus 1, n minus 2, like that it will decrease, and in n minus 1th term it will be n minus 1. So it will become 1. Okay, so this is how my length look like. I will take this statement and this statement. Once we take these two statements, then this sum will be further same as what we had done in arithmetic type of proof. So in arithmetic type of proof, what we had done? We had just reversed it in a decreasing order. First we had taken in increasing order and same sum we had taken in decreasing order. We had summed it up and we had arrived. So we will do the same thing. We will add this statement and n minus 1th iteration and the original length plus n minus 1th iteration. So it will become 2l. It will become 2l. N plus 1, this will become n plus 1 plus n minus 1 plus 2, it will become n plus 1 plus so on up to nth term, it will be n plus 1. Okay, now I will use my right hand side of the board. L. Now n plus 1, how many times it is repeated? N times. So it will be n into n plus 1. Okay, it will be n into n plus 1. So L is equal to n plus 1 by 2. So I had arrived. What is my L? L is nothing but the length of this line segment, which can be represented as the sum of first n natural numbers. So my length will become the sum of the first n natural numbers sum. So sum of the first n natural numbers is n plus 1 by 2. This is proved by using the geometric type also. This completes the first half of our class. Okay, this will complete the first half of our class in which we had discussed the theory of principle of mathematical induction. In second half of the class, we will discuss the origin. Okay, origin of principle of mathematical induction. Now, before going to the origin of principle of mathematical induction, we will understand the very important phenomena which is dominoes effect. Which is dominoes effect. What is dominoes effect? This is my horizontal plane. These are my equally spaced plates. The spacing between these plates are equal. Okay, these are my plates. How this is looking like? This is like a contraption. You first push this plate, it will fall on the next plate, it will hit this, again this will be pushed, it will hit this, again this will be pushed, this will hit this, and this will hit this. Okay, so like this each and every plate will fall down to its horizontal plane. This effect is dominoes effect. Okay, how it is connected to our principle of mathematical induction? We had used term as m plus 1. What these terms are in principle of mathematical induction? My general principle of mathematical induction statement is represented as Pn LHS is equal to RHS for all n belongs to natural numbers. Okay, for all n belongs to natural numbers. This problem constitutes of two parts. This is the main part of the problem, LHS equal to RHS. This part is the domain. This part is the domain. M plus 1 is taken from this domain. M plus 1 is taken from this domain. So, in entire n natural number set, m plus 1 are two elements. M plus 1 are any two elements. Now let's come back to our dominoes effect. First, this is my initial value. Suppose this is my m, then this will be my m plus 1. Once it will fall, so this is my m, this will my m plus 1. Once this plate will fall on this and it will push onto the other plate, so then this plate will become m. This will become m plus 1. This is again will become m. This will push on this, then this will become m plus 1. At last this is m and this will become m plus 1. Like that, we are covering the entire natural set numbers. How we are covering? Here we can see it is m plus 1. So as m plus 1 belongs to my natural numbers, if m is 1, m plus 1 will become 2. If m is 2, m plus 1 will become 3. What I am doing in my principle of mathematical induction is I am showing that Pm is true. That means P2 is true. And I am assuming that P2 is true, and I am showing that Pm plus 1 is also true. That means P3 is also true. So m is a variable. It can take any value in the natural set number. Okay. So m can take any number as an assumption, and we are showing that m plus 1 is also true, which is the consecutive next term. That is also true. Then we are covering the entire natural numbers with this approach. Like if 2 is true, 3 is true. If m will become 3, then 4 is also true. If m will become 5, then 6 is also true. If m will become 6, then 7 is also true. Like that we are covering entire set of the natural numbers. Here also, this is m, this will become m plus 1, which is 2 and 3. Then 3 will become m. Then m plus 1 will be 4. So 4 is also true. M will become 4. Then m plus 1 will become 5. So this will be also become true. Like that we are covering the entire set of the natural numbers. You are okay with this? Okay. So this is how the Domino's effect is related with our principle of mathematical induction. Now the question arises that why m plus 1? Why can't it be m plus 2? Okay. So let's now do that. Why can't it be m plus 2? So P1 already, we will take the same statement that sum of n natural numbers is n plus 1 by 2, and we will start proving for m plus 2 also, whether we will see whether m plus 2 will work or not. P of m statement I am writing directly because we had done the initial check earlier itself. So P of m is 1 plus 2 plus dash dash up to m is equal to m plus 1 by 2. Pm plus 2 will be 1 plus 2 plus dash dash up to m plus m plus 1 plus m plus 2. This is my Pm plus 2 statement, because in that one we have taken m plus 1, so terms ended by m plus 1. This is, we have taken m plus 2, so it will come till m plus 2. From my concrete step, I can write that sum of the m term sum is m plus 1 by 2. So I will replace this with m plus 1 by 2, and I will be left with m plus 1 plus m plus 2. Okay. Now, before going to further step, what we have to do? We have to look that how my RHS will look like. By taking P of m plus 2, so substitute m plus 2 in place of n, then we will get how my RHS will look like. So in place of n, if you will put m plus 2, your RHS will look like m plus 2, m plus 3 by 2. Okay, this is how my RHS will look like. So now we have to work towards getting this expression. In this, m plus 1 is common, you take m plus 1 common. You will be left with m by 2 plus 1. Further, we are having m plus 2. So we had added m plus 2. You take 2 LCM here, then you will get m plus 1, m plus 2 by 2 plus plus 2. In this, m plus 2 is common. This is m plus 2. It will become m plus 1 by 2 plus 1. Okay. Now you take 2 as LCM. Once you take 2 as LCM, then you will get m plus 1 plus 2, which will become m plus 3. So you will be getting m plus 2, m plus 1 plus 2 by 2. Okay. This will be m plus 2, m plus 3 by 2. Okay. So what we had got? We had got the same expression what we had anticipated. We had anticipated that my RHS will be look like m plus 2, m plus 3 by 2. So we had got the same expression over here. So my Pm plus 2 is also true. Now the question arises, why we are going for m plus 1 rather than m plus 2. This sum of first n natural numbers is a very simple problem. So efforts taken by us for solving m plus 1 and m plus 2 both are nearly same, but we can see for m plus 2 we had spent more efforts than that of m plus 1. If suppose we will get into some problems with n to the power of 5 or n to the power of 10, for those sums we will come up with m plus 1 to the power of 10 and m plus 2 to the power of 10 while prove. At that time, m plus 1 expansion is very easy by using a Pascal triangle. What is the Pascal triangle? We will discuss in our detailed explanation classes. But m plus 1 to the power 10 is very easy in expansion. Whereas m plus 2 to the power of 10, while you go to expand by using Pascal triangle, you have to multiply 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 2 to entire terms, like that up to 2 to the power of 10. This will make our problem complex to solve. That's why we are not going with m plus 2 to the power of 10, we are going with m plus 1 to the power of 10. This is the reason why we will use m plus 1 rather than m plus 2. As we discussed, that Domino's effect is the physical significance of our principle of mathematical induction. Now let me show how this is difficult in this physical significance also. Here, if I will remove this plate, then the gap between the first plate and the next plate will increase. Okay. Once the gap is increasing, now see how it is difficult to induce the motion in this. I have to first push this down. After that, I have to slide it. Then it will push the other plate. Then it will get it down. I have to slide it. Then it will push. So see, once the step size increases, this is our step size. Earlier it was m plus 1, now it is m and m plus 2. So the step size is 2. Once the step size increases, it is very difficult to induce the motion here also. So this is the physical significance of our principle of mathematical induction, and it shows that m plus 2 will make our sums complicated. Same we can see in our color fringes. In our color fringe, we can see red, orange, yellow up to violet. Okay. When the step size is less, that means red and orange, we will get that colors are indifferentiable. We will get that colors are indifferentiable, red and orange. Whereas if the step size increases, red to violet, we will see the drastic change in color. This is also a physical significance of using m+1 rather than m+2. This completes the origin of principle of mathematical induction. In next class, we will solve the problems in different varieties, okay, and we will explore the different categories of problems, okay, which will be our detailed explanation class. If you are happy with the content provided in this video, please press like, share and subscribe. Stay connected. Thank you.